Mido thought her life was already difficult until one day she was dragged into a world where people like her were treated as something far more valuable than human. Because of her father's debt, she is handed over to Yeo Baekgyung, a beautiful but dangerous man who needs her to survive. At first, Mido expects cruelty, fear, and no way out. But Baekgyung is not what she imagined. He smiles gently, speaks softly, and treats her like she is his only hope. And that is exactly what makes him terrifying. Because the longer Mido stays by his side, the harder it becomes to tell whether she wants to escape him, or whether this beautiful predator has already started trapping her heart. In a sunlit room, Kim Mido gasps for air, her face flushed with heat and distress. Yeo Baekgyung holds her close against a desk, his own expression lost in a haze of overwhelming euphoria. His head tilts back, a deep sigh escaping his lips as he thinks to himself that if this was his end, he would be completely fine with it. The world outside the window ceases to exist. His grip tightens on her delicate skin, his entire focus narrowing as he whispers her name like a prayer, Mido. The world fades to black, her mind consumed by one question. How did it come to this? The story rewinds a few months, showing Mido gratefully accepting extra pay after a long day of work, urged to nourish her body. Her boss chides her gently, noting the dark circles under her eyes and questioning how she can possibly care for her younger sibling while so exhausted. Unfazed, Kim Mido offers a bright, grateful smile and thanks him. Clutching her pay, she steps out into the night. She walks through the quiet, empty streets, her mind on getting home to her sister. Suddenly, a calm voice calls out her name. Kim Mido. She freezes mid-step, her eyes widening in confusion. Two pairs of polished dress shoes block her path, belonging to imposing, shadowed figures who loom over her. The man who stands before her is both handsome and imposing, and an overwhelming, beastly scent thickens the air around him. A chilling realization dawns on Kim Mido. These men are Sigmas. From the shadows, their leader, Yeo Baekgyung, issues a single, cold command to secure her. Panic seizes Mido and she bolts, her heart pounding in her chest as she runs down the dark street. But her escape is futile. A man easily seizes her arm, his voice low as he tells her it's no use. Before she can scream, another hand covers her mouth. Yeo Baekgyung's voice is smooth and condescending, finding it surprising that she even thought to run. Kim Mido's eyes widen in terror as she struggles against the firm hand covering her mouth, the pressure making it hard to breathe. Her strength drains away, and her body goes limp as she fades into darkness. "Bring her along," he commands coldly. Her last fading thought is a desperate, silent plea for her sister. She awakens on a cold, hard floor, blinking slowly as a stark, unfamiliar light pours down from above, illuminating a bare, concrete room. Kim Mido pushes herself up from the cold floor, her voice trembling as she questions where she is. From the darkness, a man's voice cuts through the silence, commanding her to listen. He explains the cruel truth. Her father bargained her away to settle his debts. From this moment on, they own her. The revelation sinks in, and Mido's shock twists into a cold, seething fury. She spent her life hiding from this exact fate, only to be betrayed by her own father. A flash of her smiling sister, Lee Young, pierces her thoughts, and the anger gives way to worry. Kim Mido's gaze falls to the faint mark on her arm. The thought twists into a more terrifying possibility, that she's a subject for some dark experiment. The heavy door groans open, revealing a man in a sharp suit. He tells her the CEO wants to see her. She follows him down a sunlit garden path, his words a cold warning. "If you want to survive, it would be best for you to be obedient." He says her usefulness has been proven. When she asks what he means, he simply says the CEO will explain everything. A heavy, animalistic scent hangs in the air, sending a chill through Kim Mido as she steps into the vast, opulent hall. Her heart pounds with a single, desperate question. Will she ever escape this place? The man beside her announces their arrival to the CEO. From atop a grand staircase, another voice confirms, the present has arrived. Footsteps echo, and a soft, chilling voice responds. Finally, Mido's head snaps up, her gaze meeting the man looking down at her. He smiles, confirming her worst fears. The test came back positive. The man with sharp glasses explains that his brother, Yeo Baekgyung, was born a flawed creation, unable to tolerate even the purest sustenance. His red eyes lock onto Kim Mido, a cold smile forming as he touches her cheek. He predicts Baekgyung will desperately crave her unique essence. Scornfully calling her a rat from the slums, he suddenly shoves her forward. Mido stumbles, shocked, as he declares her new fate. She is now his brother's exclusive source of vitality, a role she will fill until her final day. He promises to manage her health, calling the twisted arrangement humane. A wave of despair crashes over Kim Mido. This is the worst possible fate. She thinks that if she were traded for darker services or used for experiments, at least there might be a chance to escape. But now, she is the sole possession of a single Sigma, and his cruel brother is her keeper. The man calmly adjusts his tie, a cold glint in his eyes. He muses that escape will be difficult, since they will watch her relentlessly under the guise of safety. Seeing her fear, he offers a crude reassurance, telling her not to worry about being exploited in other ways. The man's words are a venomous whisper. He leans in, a cruel smile twisting his lips as he reassures Kim Mido that his brother, despite his condition, has no base desires for her kind. The insult stings. They see her as nothing more than an animal. As Mido processes the dehumanizing remark, a new woman appears. A derisive laugh escapes her lips. "Disgusting Sigmas," she says, her voice dripping with scorn as she agrees with Mido's unspoken thought. With a hand on her chest, she looks Mido over and declares that affection is reserved for humans. In this world, humanity is divided into three distinct classes. The powerful Sigmas, beings of condensed yang energy, possess bodies honed into weapons. In contrast, the Epsilons are filled with yin energy, granting them healing powers. The vast majority, however, are ordinary betas. Though a small minority, the aggressive and physically superior Sigmas sit at the top of the food chain, true apex predators. Yet, even they possess a fatal flaw. A man doubles over in agony, a pained groan escaping him. This is the dreaded illusionary thirst, a madness that manifests when their power overflows. It's an endless craving that ultimately leads to their end. The only known cure is a shining vial of crimson essence. It is the vitality of an Epsilon, a substance that is both salvation and poison to the afflicted Sigmas. The history of Epsilons is a predictable tragedy. Despite laws written for their protection, the scales of justice remain shattered, as the ruling Sigmas have never seen them as equals. This bitter truth settles heavily in Kim Mido's heart, a burden she carries as a pure lineage Epsilon. Her jaw tightens, her hands clenching into fists at her side. A man's voice cuts through her dark thoughts, telling her to eat breakfast. Her head snaps up. Yeo Baekgyung stands before her, holding a small tray. His eyes are a telltale crimson. He's a Sigma. Yeo Baekgyung commands Kim Mido to eat every last crumb, declaring he'll stay until her plate is clean. Sizing him up, she asks if he's the one meant to attend to her. His composure cracks. Offended, he clarifies that he's not a servant, he's her overseer. A calculated, innocent smile spreads across Mido's face as she apologizes. If he's watching her, she muses aloud, then he must be protecting her. The word hangs in the air, leaving him speechless. She adds that she's glad he seems kind, unlike the others. His face flushes a deep red, utterly disarmed. He's simple, she thinks. Maybe, with this man, there's a chance. A woman with long, dark hair offers a soft, alluring smile, tucking a stray strand behind her ear. She leans forward, her eyes holding a gentle curiosity as she asks for his name. The scene cuts away to a sprawling city at night, the glass facade of the Ace Hotel and Casino looming against the dark sky. Inside, a man stands before a large window, his arms and shirt stained dark. As old pop music fills the room, he gazes out at the city lights. A chilling smile touches his lips as he speaks. "Johnny," he muses, "don't you think old pop is perfect for a night like this?" A subordinate's voice comes through the phone, addressing his boss. He reports that everything is clear, adding that the client's grim request has been fulfilled. Yeo Baekgyung, his face and dark shirt marked by the struggle, turns his head slightly. "Good work," he murmurs, his gaze fixed on the city lights outside. The scene reveals a dark corridor, littered with defeated men. Back on the phone, the subordinate's voice holds a note of awe. He asks if it's true that Baekgyung took down so many armed opponents with just a single blade. Baekgyung looks down at the weapon in his shadowed hands, his expression unreadable. The subordinate explains that there were plenty of things to use as shields, confirming their target is officially dealt with. As they prepare to depart, their shoes move through the grim aftermath. A note of concern enters the man's voice as he asks if Yeo Baekgyung is all right, pointing out that his eyes have turned red. Baekgyung glances at his reflection in a shattered surface. His gaze is cold, his eyes burning with an unnatural crimson light. A quiet, unsettling thought surfaces in his mind. A faint, chilling smile plays on Yeo Baekgyung's lips. He remarks that he must head home quickly, lest another conflict erupts on the way. As he walks through the dark corridor, his subordinate stops him with news from the mansion. The chairman, his brother, has prepared a gift for him, one he won't be able to refuse. Baekgyung halts, his expression twisting. "Ah, really?" he murmurs, a dangerous light igniting in his crimson eyes. A chilling excitement overcomes him. "I'm so excited," he declares. "I'm getting impatient." Cards scatter across the floor mat. "I won again," Kim Mido announces with a sly smile. Across from her, Yeo Baekgyung sighs, running a hand through his hair in exasperation. He admits the game is crazy addictive. He was even playing it on the train. Mido observes him, her mind racing. He's so much sloppier than she expected, letting his guard down in just a few days. When he begs for one more round, she playfully accuses him of trying to cheat again. "You're too consumed," she says, deciding she's done. Desperation flashes in his eyes. "Please," he asks, his voice soft. "The older guys won't play with me." A sly smile plays on Kim Mido's lips as she offers Yeo Baekgyung a rematch later, but only if he brings a pen and paper to keep the score honest. He protests, but her terms are absolute. Defeated, he agrees. Then, she adds one more condition: come without anyone knowing. Her coyly suggestive question about a man visiting a woman late at night makes him flush, utterly flustered. With a final, playful reminder, Mido shuts the door. Her cheerful facade immediately vanishes, replaced by cold calculation as her thoughts drift to another painfully simple-minded Sigma. A chilling memory surfaces, the face of the Sigma's younger brother, the man whose sole purpose was to watch her until the boss arrived. He is the very reason she was dragged into this nightmare. A cold dread washes over Kim Mido as she realizes that once the main Sigma returns, it will all be over. There will be no second chances. Whether she lives or is lost, she has to escape now. The clock glows 9:38 p.m. Across from her, that same brother laughs, celebrating his win. Mido just smirks, goading him to keep talking. A single, desperate thought cuts through the tension. The smartest move is to take him down now. In a fluid, vicious motion, Kim Mido rises, her arm a striking serpent as she drives the pen downward. It strikes with punishing force, pinning his hand to the table in a shocking display. A raw, guttural scream rips through the quiet room. Before the sound even fades, she snatches the weapon from his belt. Aiming with a trembling but determined hand, she knows this is her only chance. He stares, utterly betrayed and broken, his voice a strained whisper. "Kim Mido, you." A tremor runs through Kim Mido as she stares at the man crumpled on the floor. "I did it," she whispers, the realization settling like ice in her veins. She knows he won't be down for long. A darker thought flashes through her mind. A final measure would be safer, but she shoves it down. There's no time for guilt. With newfound resolve, she bursts from the room, her bare feet padding against the cold floor. If she makes it out alive, her sister is the priority. But as she reaches the main gate, her escape plan shatters. Two Sigmas stand guard, their imposing figures blocking her only path to freedom. Her hands tremble around the cold metal. There is no other way. Kim Mido knows she must do this with her own hands. She commands herself to push past the hesitation, to just move. An image of her younger sister's bright, carefree smile flashes through her mind, the one place she absolutely must return to. All doubt vanishes. With newfound resolve, she lifts the weapon and aims. A sharp blast shatters the silence. The two guards look up, their surprise cut short as they collapse to the ground, defeated in an instant. Smoke wisps from the barrel of the weapon, the scent of conflict hanging heavy in the air. Kim Mido's breath hitches, a desperate need to hurry consuming her. Her fleeting victory shatters as two more guards round the corner, their voices sharp with alarm. They charge, shouting that the life source is getting away. A curse escapes her lips as desperation hardens her gaze. She raises the weapon again, a second blast echoing into the night. But in that same instant, a powerful presence awakens. A crimson-streaked blur of motion intercepts her with impossible speed. The weapon is torn from Kim Mido's grasp, clattering uselessly across the ground. A powerful grip secures her, hoisting her into the air. The guard's face is a mask of pure fury, his eyes burning red as he seethes at her defiance. He promises to make her suffer, to break her spirit until she begs for release. Just as his grip tightens, a dark, elegant blur intervenes. A flash of energy cuts through the air, and the guard collapses into a silent shadow, his threats silenced by a swift, decisive strike. A vicious arc of energy cuts through the night. Kim Mido moves with a desperate, lethal grace, her strike a blur as she takes down her pursuers one by one. An attacker collapses, his voice a harsh rasp as he curses her ferocity. She stands alone, panting heavily amidst the still forms, her entire body marked by the evidence of her frantic struggle for freedom. A cold dread floods her senses. Soon, the Sigmas will swarm this place. If she is caught now, she knows a terrible fate awaits her. Leaving a trail of dark footprints, Kim Mido drags herself toward the towering front gate. A single, desperate thought consumes her. Even if this is the end, she just wants to make it past these walls. Her breath hitches as she looks up, her eyes widening in shock. Her path is blocked. There, standing over the chaos she created, is Yeo Baekgyung. His eyes burn with an intense, predatory red glow as he surveys the scene. A single, harsh curse escapes his lips. Her desperate struggle for freedom is over. Kim Mido stands frozen, her clothes and face marked by the clash. She looks up, her dazed eyes landing on a man with a calm, imposing presence. An unbidden thought surfaces, he's ridiculously handsome. The realization jolts her back to the grim reality of her situation. How could she think of that now? Shaking off the distraction, she tightens her grip on the small edge in her hand. Suddenly, Yeo Baekgyung is no longer alone. A crowd of suited men appears, surrounding him as he looks down at her, completely unfazed by the defense she wields. The entrance is completely blocked. Kim Mido's heart plummets as a cold sweat traces a path down her temple. Damn it! Her hand trembles, but her grip on the small, stained edge tightens with desperate resolve. A single, sorrowful wish echoes in her mind. She just wanted to see the front gate one last time. With a surge of defiance, she turns the edge toward herself, prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice. Before she can carry out the unthinkable act, a hand flashes out, seizing her wrist. Yeo Baekgyung closes the distance, gently holding her jaw. Let go. Kim Mido breathes, her voice weak. Yeo Baekgyung only looks down, questioning her softly. Suddenly, he staggers, his large frame swaying before he collapses onto the pavement. His men shout his name, rushing to his side in a panic. Kim Mido watches, stunned and confused by the bizarre sight. She quickly dismisses it, deciding this changes nothing. The cold metal remains pressed against her throat. Before she can act, an arm wraps around her waist. A subordinate lifts her effortlessly over his shoulder, announcing, "This is the boss's command. Ensure she survives." The silent command hangs in the air. A sharp, precise blow connects with the back of Kim Mido's neck, and her world instantly fades to black. Her body goes limp, slumping to the ground as consciousness leaves her. The small, desperate edge clatters from her loosened grip. This is the world ruled by Yeo Baekgyung, a natural-born warrior amongst Sigmas. He's a monster who walks into enemy territory alone and always returns unscathed, a man known for his excellent judgment and for showing no mercy in combat. But even a man like Yeo Baekgyung has a fatal weakness. A battered fist smashes against a surface in a desperate, uncontrolled strike. His body is cursed with a unique condition, incompatible with any Epsilon, which fuels an endless craving for illusions. His eyes glow a dangerous red as recurring cycles of delirium seize him, submerging him in a world of torment. To escape the unbearable agony, he relies on potent remedies, choosing to lose consciousness for days on end. He lies perfectly still, a silent figure lost to the world. Yeo Baekgyung jolts awake, his hand pressed to his head as the familiar haze settles over him. Again, he mutters. He presses a button on his intercom, his voice a low command to come to his room in 30 minutes. Later, his subordinate enters to find him standing shirtless, toweling his damp hair. Baekgyung asks if he passed out, his memory of the event gone. The man confirms he did. A grim look crosses Baekgyung's face. "I must have looked pathetic," he says. His subordinate's expression is filled with concern, explaining he was asleep for far too long. A dry, humorless laugh escapes Baekgyung. Given the state of his body, he remarks, it wouldn't be strange if he simply faded away at any moment. He takes a drink and casually asks if the woman is still alive. His subordinate confirms she is, though she's been confined to the underground securement. A flashback reveals a grim scene. The other men, their eyes glowing with rage, demanded she be disposed of immediately, claiming only her essence was of any value. Baekgyung absorbs this information with unnerving calm. I see, he murmurs. A slight, predatory smile forms on his lips as he requests a meal be arranged. He wants to accept the present that was prepared for him. His subordinate leaves him in silence. Yeo Baekgyung sinks onto the sofa, his head falling back as a single, consuming thought takes over. His mind flashes to an image of Kim Mido, her face and clothes marked by the ordeal, her hand clenched around a sharp edge. He recalls the look in her eyes, an undying, fierce intent, even in what seemed like utter surrender. With her slight frame, she had managed to leave 4 powerful Sigma mercenaries completely defeated. The memory of her gaze, burning with a vivid will to live, makes his own heart pound. Her eyes, the memory of her fiery gaze is branded into Yeo Baekgyung's mind, and his heart hammers against his ribs. A frustrated curse escapes his lips as he runs a hand through his hair, a deep flush creeping up his neck. An unfamiliar, intense heat stirs within him, an involuntary reaction to her sheer defiance. Meanwhile, inside the sprawling, modern estate, Kim Mido sits in a library, restrained. The cold metal of cuffs clinks softly against the armrest. A voice delivers a simple, chilling instruction. If she wants to survive, she must stay perfectly still. Kim Mido sits captive in the library, the metallic chill of restraints a constant reminder of her situation. A profound exhaustion pulls at her eyelids, and she lets her head fall back against the chair, a weary thought echoing in her mind. I'm tired. Suddenly, her eyes snap open. A figure now stands before her, casting a long shadow. She looks up into the calm, unnerving face of Yeo Baekgyung. He leans over her, a faint, unreadable smile on his lips. Hello, he greets her softly. It's nice to meet you, Mido. Yeo Baekgyung's smooth voice cuts through the silence, and Kim Mido flinches, startled by his sudden presence. Hello, it's nice to meet you, Mido. He notes how haggard she looks, apologizing softly for the harsh treatment she endured because of him. Mido's mind races as she recognizes him. He leans in close, his proximity suffocating, and asks if she is unable to speak. Stunned by his closeness, she finally whispers, No, I can speak. He smiles faintly, expressing his relief as he pulls a chair to sit opposite her. He introduces himself with an unnerving calm. I am Yeo Baekgyung. Mido studies him, a knot of confusion tightening in her stomach. His eyes are pitch black, and he lacks the distinct, overpowering scent of a Sigma. A chilling memory surfaces, a whispered story about a Sigma born as a flawed creation. Could this impossibly polite man be him? Breaking the tense silence, he begins chatting casually, mentioning they are both Pisces. As he rambles about their shared romantic and artistic tendencies, he extends a hand towards her, a bright, disarming smile spreading across his face. Kim Mido's mind reels at the sheer absurdity of the situation. Who is this man who can find someone only to talk about horoscopes? Yeo Baekgyung's smile falters as he notes her stony expression, admitting it's a shame he failed to make a good impression. He leans forward, his voice turning serious. He explains that he has a unique condition, and she is his only hope. His eyes seem to glow with a strange sincerity as he places a hand over his heart, calling her his savior. He asks her to live with him, promising to treat her well. Yeo Baekgyung's tone darkens, painting a grim picture. He insists he won't force her to stay, but warns that the world outside is hostile. Other Sigmas will try to eliminate her before she even reaches the gate. His eyes glisten with a fragile vulnerability as he confesses his own despair, hinting that without her, he sees no way forward. He offers them a pact to guarantee each other's survival. Mido's heart sinks. Trapped and out of options, she grits her teeth and agrees. A soft, pleased smile spreads across his face. Then I'll pay extra attention to your health, Mido. A stern man in a suit, not Baekgyung, appears at her door. Mido demands to know where her captor is, but the man scolds her for her insolence. He informs her that the boss is on a business trip and has left new orders. He presents a card key, explaining that she is now free to roam the interior. Mido's eyes narrow with suspicion. The guard explains, with a long-suffering sigh, that Baekgyung worried his sensitive Pisces might get depressed if she stayed confined. He leaves, and Mido cautiously steps out, whispering, "I'm outside." Stepping into the bright sun, Kim Mido scans the sprawling grounds of her gilded cage, her eyes immediately seeking an escape route. A tall tree near the outer wall ignites a flicker of hope. Could she climb it? The thought dies as quickly as it appears. She knows it's a futile idea that would end in a terrible way. A heavy weight on her ankle is a constant, grim reminder. The memory surfaces, Yeo Baekgyung kneeling before her, gently fastening the security monitor. He explains with a soft voice that he hadn't wanted to, but her actions had forced his hand after she had taken down 4 of his staff. The memory of his hands lingers, a chilling contrast to the device he fastens. Yeo Baekgyung's voice echoes in her mind, complimenting how the ankle monitor suits her. Back in the present, her brief moment outside is shattered when a guard calls out. Before she can react, the cold edge of a weapon presses firmly against her temple. He sneers, wondering aloud if he should just end her right there. Mido's eyes narrow. What's the point of freedom when she's surrounded by such palpable hostility? With a sharp flick of her wrist, she knocks the weapon aside and turns away. Kim Mido sinks against the cold brick wall, sighing in exhaustion. From now on, she'll only come outside when no one else is around. Her quiet moment is shattered as one of the guards sprints toward her, his face twisted in panic. He points a trembling finger, screaming her name. "How could you betray me?" he cries out, his voice cracking. He demands to know if she has any idea how difficult her actions have made his life. Mido looks up, her expression hardening from annoyance to ice as she questions his delusion of betrayal. Kim Mido's patience shatters. She informs the guard he should be grateful to still be breathing after looking down on her, calling it a cheap life lesson. Her own fury rising, she jabs a finger beneath his chin, forcing his head back with a cold warning to stay out of her sight. As she turns to leave, a firm hand suddenly seizes the back of her neck, stopping her cold. She looks up into the displeased face of Yeo Baekgyung. He quietly remarks on her obnoxious manner of speaking. Confused, Mido asks if he means he went easy on her simply because it was her. He turns away, a faint, unreadable blush warming his cheeks. Yeo Baekgyung leans closer, his expression softening as he admits that while he wasn't going to let her actions slide, her reasoning makes sense. Kim Mido is left speechless, her eyes wide with disbelief. The guard, however, comes to a wildly different conclusion. His face lights up, a brilliant blush spreading across his cheeks as he decides she must have been looking out for him. With a newfound swagger, he straightens his tie and walks off, leaving Mido staring after him in disgust. This place is a den of madness, she thinks, resolving to stay invisible. Water cascades over Kim Mido as she stands in the shower, lost in thought. Stepping out, she towels her hair, but the quiet moment offers no peace. Tears well in her eyes as her lip trembles with fury, silently cursing the men responsible for her fate. The memory floods back, vivid and cruel. She recalls a mocking voice, feigning surprise at finding a rat. A man with a chilling grin holds up a bucket filled with ruin. He cruelly asks if it suits someone who crawled from the gutter before dumping the foul contents over her head. A cruel, vulgar threat echoes in Kim Mido's mind, a vile promise from another man to subdue her. She collapses onto the bed, the weight of the month she's been trapped here crashing down on her. This can't go on. She tried to remain silent, to avoid the other Sigmas, but their hostility has only grown more vicious. To them, this is all just a hunt. Lying in the quiet room, a fierce resolve hardens her gaze. If this is how it's going to be, she decides, then she'll just have to break through head-on. The cafeteria air is thick with whispers as Kim Mido sits alone. The other Sigmas stare, their voices dripping with contempt as they question how a mere Epsilon could have bested their seniors. Kim Mido forces herself to eat, blocking out their venomous words. Suddenly, a tray slams onto her table. A woman with sharp, silver hair and a knowing smirk sits down. "I didn't expect to see you here," she remarks, introducing herself as Kim Sena. Her gaze is intense, a new and unpredictable threat in this hostile place. Kim Sena leans forward with a knowing smirk, revealing she handles the CEO's security. Her questions are sharp, but Mido remains guarded, refusing to answer. Sena's real query cuts through the tension like a knife. "Where did you learn to use a weapon?" The words strike Mido with a physical force. Sena lists off the bleak details of her life, a middle school dropout, an unbarcoded Epsilon working odd jobs. Mido says nothing, her vision blurring. A dark, cold memory floods her mind, and she sees herself kneeling on a concrete floor, completely broken. The memory crashes over her, cold and sharp. In a desolate storeroom, a younger Kim Mido kneels, pleading with a man who towers over her and his armed guards. She begs him, promising to do anything if he'll just save her little sister. The man scoffs, calling her too young and weak for the grim work his union does. The alternative flashes through her mind, becoming a vital source for the Sigmas. Disgust curls in her stomach. She thinks to herself she would rather fade away than live such a captive life. A smirk plays on the man's lips, impressed. He takes it back. She isn't weak at all. A cold dread seizes Kim Mido's heart. She offers a vague excuse, explaining that an Epsilon without a barcode learns many things to survive. The silver-haired woman, Senna, waves her hand dismissively. With a cunning smile, she changes her approach, leaning forward to propose a bet. Mido is instantly wary. Senna's eyes glint as she names the challenge, a marksmanship match. Whoever scores higher wins. But Mido immediately refuses the proposition, shutting it down completely. A sly smirk plays on Senna's lips, a silent warning against refusal. She explains that everyone is curious, their whispers echoing in Mido's mind. A chilling memory flashes, still forms littering the floor from that day, a grim display of her survival. Senna voices their collective doubt. Was it true skill or just a stroke of luck? Mido's resolve falters as she asks about the stakes. The prize for winning is Senna's protection. And if I lose? A dark, predatory grin spreads across Senna's face as she twists a spoon into a cruel point, her threat hanging heavy in the air. Inside the sterile confines of the shooting range, Kim Mido's voice cuts through the tension as she requests a standard-issue weapon. An attendant warns Senna about potential trouble with the CEO, but she dismisses it with a confident smirk, calling it a trivial matter. Mido's hand tightens on her arm, a silent display of the storm raging within her. Senna sets the grueling conditions, 17 strikes, 30 meters, and only 20 seconds on the clock, including a reload. Holding the equipment, she asks Mido who will go first. I'll go first, Mido declares, her resolve hardening. She slips on the headphones, her expression transforming as she takes her position, aiming down the long lane at her solitary target. Kim Mido exhales a slow, deliberate breath, her eyes turning to ice. All emotion drains from her face, replaced by a chillingly calm focus as she aims down the barrel. Her grip is absolute. A sharp blast shatters the silence, followed by another in quick succession, each shot a brilliant flash of light. The scene dissolves, shifting across continents to a remote camp on the West African coast. Inside, a man in a sharp suit approaches an unseen figure. "Sorry I'm late, boss," he says, presenting a classified file. "Did anything happen while I was gone?" A faint, knowing smile touches Yeo Baekgyung's lips. So, Kim Mido truly has a hidden side. His subordinate questions the decision to leave her untouched, insisting he should have at least claimed her essence by now. Baekgyung's smile widens, a shadow of possessiveness in his eyes. He confesses his greed, his nature to save the most precious things for last. He recalls past mistakes, treasures forgotten and left to ruin. "Let's not make that mistake this time," he murmurs, a dangerous plan forming as he orders the Hong Kong schedule moved up. A young man with an unexpectedly cheerful expression approaches Kim Mido, asking her to teach him how to shoot. She stares at him, her expression hardening with disbelief. "What?" she asks flatly. He explains that while he's skilled in close combat, he's not good with firearms and was impressed by how she taught the card game. Mido stops in her tracks, insulted. She wonders if he has any pride at all, asking for help from her after everything that has happened. He looks genuinely confused by her coldness, questioning why pride matters. "Here, strength is law and power," he declares earnestly. He reminds her that even though she is not physically imposing, her skill with a weapon makes her powerful enough to have bested squad leader Senna. Mido remains silent, his unexpected logic catching her off guard. A memory surfaces for Kim Mido, a quiet moment of triumph. "Right, I won." Back in the present, a man with striking blue-gray hair smirks, confirming her victory by a narrow margin. His hand lands firmly on her shoulder, pulling her back against him. He leans in, his voice a low promise that from now on, no one will pick fights with her again. "I swear on my name," he adds, his face unnervingly close to hers. Mido's eyes narrow, a cold analysis cutting through her surprise. What is this? She knows her own skill is superior. Kim Mido's mind races, dismissing her narrow victory. The eager man continues his plea, promising to treat her as his teacher and even offering to pay for lessons. With a cold look, she turns her back on him. I don't have the skill to teach anyone, she states flatly, walking away. As he calls after her, her thoughts are consumed by a different man's strange promise. The scene cuts to a medical office, where a voice announces, "That's enough. There's nothing wrong with your health, so you can leave." In a sterile medical office, Kim Mido sits across from a doctor who sighs in frustration, complaining that he didn't come here to handle this kind of thing. Mido's eyes narrow. He's the one who called for her. The doctor speculates to Yeo Baekgyung about what she must be thinking, being left alone like this. "I'm not sure," Mido replies softly, guessing he's simply too busy to care. A shadow suddenly looms over her. Yeo Baekgyung is standing directly behind her, his presence intense. Her mind drifts to the change. After her wager, the other Sigmas definitely see her differently. A quiet satisfaction settles over Kim Mido as she reflects on her new reality. The other Sigmas have abandoned their taunts, choosing instead to treat her as if she's invisible. This change brings a welcome convenience. While stretching under the open sky, her brief moment of peace is shattered by a familiar voice asking if she's communicating with aliens. Yeo Baekgyung stands before her, a faint smile on his lips. He remarks that her old injury seems better now. Before she can properly reply, his hand suddenly closes around her wrist, his touch possessive. His gaze darkens as he focuses on her skin. "There's a scar," he states, his voice low and intense. His thumb gently traces the faint line on her skin, a quiet displeasure in his voice as he calls the scar upsetting. The mood shifts abruptly as he offers a disarming smile, explaining he was away on business. But the warmth vanishes in an instant, his expression dissolving into a chilling stillness. He heard about her wager from Yoon Hee-seok. He leans closer, the space between them shrinking as a possessive edge sharpens his tone. "You two must have gotten close," he states coldly, questioning when they became so familiar. Flustered, Mido nervously denies it. A disarming smile spreads across Yeo Baekgyung's face as he confidently tells Kim Mido that she can do anything. She silently cringes, finding his words unbearably cheesy. He explains that his business trip was meant to be longer, but he rushed back because he truly wanted to see her. As he speaks, his hand slides down to firmly grasp her own. Seeing her now, he knows he made the right choice. His gaze intensifies as he asks, "Didn't you miss me?" Mido freezes, wondering why he's spouting such nonsense when he's only here for her vitality. With a soft smile, Yeo Baekgyung explains it's only natural to want to make a good impression before holding out his hand. "Here, a gift." Kim Mido stares, confused, as he reveals a small, carved wooden figurine of a wolf. He tells her it's a Thoa, said to be God's first creation. Then, he adds that he bought it because it looks just like her. Cute, with a dignified spirit, and above all, special. Mido is stunned, her mind reeling. As she takes the small wolf, a profound realization dawns on her. No one has ever given her a gift before. Kim Mido clutches the small wolf figurine to her chest, a wave of emotion washing over her as she realizes this is the first gift she has ever received. Yeo Baekgyung leans closer, his gaze steady as he asks if she would like to have dinner with him. Later, she sits before a lavish spread of lobster and shrimp in his stunning modern home. Her eyes widen in disbelief at the feast. He expresses regret that they couldn't dine out, then settles in with a gentle smile, telling her to enjoy the meal. Mido quietly says, "Thanks," picking up her chopsticks in the opulent silence. As they eat in a tense silence, Yeo Baekgyung casually asks if anything happened while he was away. Kim Mido simply replies, "Nothing much." His gaze intensifies as he reveals he heard about her victory in a contest, admitting his surprise and questioning if she had prior training. Setting her spoon down, Mido explains she learned to handle such things growing up. A genuinely proud smile spreads across his face. He tells her it's good that everyone now knows what she's capable of. Leaning forward, his expression earnest, he asks for a favor. "Will you help me with my mission?" Yeo Baekgyung's unexpected question hangs in the air. "Will you help me with my mission?" he asks. Kim Mido stares back, completely baffled. He clarifies that he is going on a business trip to Hong Kong and would like her to accompany him. A dark, unsettling smile plays on his lips as he reveals the trip's true purpose, to take down a target. With a sharp movement, he stabs his fork into a tomato. Mido flinches as he explains the target is a powerful illegal trader who recently provoked a very dangerous person. Yeo Baekgyung's smile is unnervingly pleasant as he reveals the dangerous individual is, in fact, their client. He calmly lays out his plan to corner their target, Mingwei, at his mistress's birthday party. A cold dread grips Kim Mido. She clutches her arm, her voice tight with disbelief as she demands to know why she must be involved. He explains that he cannot approach the man himself, as Mingwei is paranoid and blocks all threats, especially Sigma's. When he reveals the target is a beta, Mido's resolve hardens. I refuse. His smile only widens. But, Mido, he begins, his voice dropping, asking if she knows about the prototype Mingwei plans to showcase. A chilling revelation hangs in the air. The prototype, Yeo Baekgyung explains, is a medicine made from coagulated Epsilon vitality. Horror grips Kim Mido as a terrible vision floods her mind. Countless Epsilons, those with no connections, being taken to create the drug. She sees them submerged in despair, a grim future if this business succeeds. He dismisses her hesitation, calling the target inhuman. Leaning in, Yeo Baekgyung gently cups her chin, his gaze intense. "You are strong," he says, his voice a soft plea. "Will you please help me?" Kim Mido pulls away from his touch, her voice firm. No, she declares that her purpose is to be his vital source, not a pawn in some deadly scheme. She tries to find leverage, reminding him that if she were to fall on a mission, he would be in a difficult position as well. His intense expression softens into one of gentle reassurance. He promises he won't let her be in danger. Never. He then shifts his approach, asking if she would accept if her safety was guaranteed and she received a reasonable reward. A reasonable reward? She asks, suspicious. Yeo Baekgyung calmly names his price. A down payment of 500 million won. The staggering amount sends a jolt through Kim Mido, her eyes flying wide in utter shock. The immense sum of money holds no appeal for Kim Mido. She calmly informs Yeo Baekgyung that no amount could sway her, but she has a different price. He listens intently as she makes her proposal. Her hands clench into tight fists, the memory of being torn away from her life still painfully fresh. With a desperate blush coloring her cheeks, she explains that she just wants to let her younger sister know she is alive. A calculating look enters Yeo Baekgyung's eyes. "Is that sibling?" he asks, his voice dangerously soft. "A precious person to you?" Kim Mido flinches, her expression clouded with uncertainty at his probing question. A slow, knowing smile spreads across Yeo Baekgyung's face as he assesses her. "Fine," he says, his voice smooth and confident. "Let's make a deal." Later that night, under a star-filled sky, Kim Mido lies awake. She tosses and turns, sleep eluding her as her mind races with the implications of their new arrangement. It will be her first time going abroad, a trip to Hong Kong. Her thoughts inevitably circle back to the man orchestrating it all, Yeo Baekgyung. While Yeo Baekgyung was away on business, Kim Mido tried to gather information about him. To her bewilderment, every Sigma she questioned shut their mouths, their expressions twisting with open disgust. Lying awake, she grapples with the paradox of his existence. He's an outcast in a world ruled by strength, yet he's a leader's brother who takes on dangerous tasks. One thing is certain, he is different. She remembers him at dinner, delicately eating only a salad. A vegetarian Sigma is unheard of. Then her thoughts shift to the Essence collection, and a startling realization widens her eyes. Kim Mido clenches her fist, her resolve hardening. She tells Yeo Baekgyung that she has been eating well, her body now strong enough for the 700 milliliters essence extraction. As she offers her arm, he simply watches her, a silent pause hanging in the air. Seeing his hesitation, she asks if it's not enough. He reaches out, gently taking her by the wrist. No, he says, his voice soft, a gentle smile on his face. "I have no intention of taking your essence for the time being." Later, she lies awake, his words echoing in her mind. He is such a strange, unpredictable man. 1 week passes, and the scene shifts to the glittering, vast skyline of Hong Kong at night. Kim Mido stares at her reflection, styled in an elegant purple evening gown. She touches her perfectly made-up cheek, feeling as though she's wearing a disguise. One of Yeo Baekgyung's men watches her, commenting that the specialist did a fine job before warning her about their target, Mingwei, a man with a dangerous reputation. The subordinate deems her appearance passable for the mission and then hands her a small, ornate box. "What is this?" she asks, confused. He simply tells her it's a gift from the boss. She opens it, and her eyes fly wide in utter shock. Inside the box is an impossibly beautiful jewelry set, sparkling with sapphires and brilliant gems. An attendant's mind races in shock. How could the boss possibly give something so priceless to Kim Mido? The exquisite necklace now rests against Mido's skin, a cold, heavy weight. Adorned in jewels she never dreamed of wearing, she feels more like a doll than a person. As she's escorted into the lavish venue, her expression remains somber. The glittering facade does little to mask the turmoil churning within her as she prepares for the mission ahead. The low hum of the party fades as Kim Mido stands tensely, her gaze lowered. A smooth voice asks what's wrong. She looks up to see a handsome, blonde-haired man smiling at her. This is Alex, an operative from the W2 China branch, and, surprisingly, a beta. He's here under the guise of a company representative. He gently takes her arm, and her role tonight is to be his Korean wife. Alex observes that his wife seems nervous, leaning in to whisper that she shouldn't worry. She forces a small laugh, but her mind races. It's all so sudden. They only had a week to prepare. Her mind races. The party etiquette, the layout of the hall. She's barely scratched the surface. A wave of terror washes over her. What if they realize she's an Epsilon? She used perfume, but is it enough? Turning to Alex, she murmurs an excuse about needing a moment alone. Alone for a moment, she scolds herself to stop being so pathetically scared. As her hand reaches for the door, an arm snakes around her waist, yanking her back with brutal force. She's pressed firmly against the wall, her hands pinned, before being dragged into a room. The lock clicks shut. A gasp escapes Kim Mido's lips as she recognizes the man holding her. It's Yeo Baekgyung. A slow, dangerous smile spreads across his face as he places a finger to his lips, shushing her. Pinned against the door, her mind screams his name in silent panic. He leans in close, his voice a low whisper, asking if he scared her. She reminds him they are meant to be strangers tonight, but he simply replies that's precisely why he was waiting nearby. His fingers gently trace the sparkling earring he gave her, complimenting how it suits her. He asks if she read the card, and she flushes, recalling his intimate words, a wish that he could be with her right there and then. He sighs, "I know. What a shame." A slow, knowing smile plays on Yeo Baekgyung's lips. He reveals he prepared something else for her, a special gift he was worried he wouldn't find the right moment to present. Reaching into his jacket, he pulls out a small white packet, explaining it's a rare item that just arrived by air cargo, a preparation that removes all traces of pheromones. Kim Mido's eyes widen in shock. He leans closer, holding the packet near her face. "Go on," he murmurs, "say ah." Confused, she questions him as he takes her hand. He cautions her not to touch it directly, explaining her hands are in a sensitive state. Then, with unnerving calm, he brings her fingers to his own lips. Yeo Baekgyung softly commands Kim Mido to open her mouth. She hesitates, her eyes wide with apprehension as he gently coaxes her. With a faint, satisfied smile, he tears the packet open with his teeth and carefully places the small pill onto her tongue. His gaze locks with hers as he brings her now damp fingers to his own lips, tasting the residue left behind. Leaning in, he whispers for her to swallow, calling her a good girl. He explains that while he loves her pheromones, he won't be able to sense them for the next few hours. Yeo Baekgyung's hand smooths the fabric on Kim Mido's shoulder. Looking up at him, she quietly asks if their plan will also put an end to Mingwei's project. A faint, knowing smile plays on his lips. He explains that he wishes it were that simple, but the business is too scalable. Someone else would inevitably try to take over. As he speaks, his grip on her arm tightens, a subtle reminder of his control. Her expression falls, the weight of his words sinking in. He then takes her hand, his fingers wrapping firmly around hers. "Let's just focus on tonight's job," Yeo Baekgyung says, his voice a gentle reassurance as he holds her hand. He tells her she feels calmer with him, dangling the promise that she will soon be able to contact her sibling. A faint, persuasive smile touches his lips as he wonders why she finds it all so difficult. Kim Mido looks up, her expression a whirlwind of uncertainty. She finally concedes, her voice barely a whisper. "You're right. It's a strange feeling." As she stands with him, the constant chaos in her head begins to settle, the frantic thoughts fading into an unnerving quiet. Kim Mido decides to focus solely on the job ahead, despite the strange, unsettling feeling that lingers within her. They enter a lavish hall where Yeo Baekgyung turns to her, his hair appearing soft and light under the bright chandeliers. He smiles, remarking, "You look more relaxed now. Your expression's better." Surprised by her own composure, Mido's hand drifts to the elegant necklace at her throat. "Oh, it is," she asks quietly. "Let's finish this and get out of here," he says, his tone shifting to business. He then suggests they go for noodles afterward. The sudden, casual offer, a glimpse into a life of normalcy she can't have, makes her eyes narrow, the fragile peace instantly shattering. A man with fair hair steps closer, his cheeks flushed as he stumbles through a confession. He admits that she is exactly his type and asks her on a date. Kim Mido lets out a small, disbelieving laugh, but he insists he is serious, telling her not to even think about turning him down. Before she can answer, a commotion draws her gaze. A portly man named Mingwei makes a grand entrance, greeting the crowd. Suddenly, Yeo Baekgyung's voice cuts through her thoughts, a low whisper beside her. "Mido," he says, "your expression is frightening." His voice is a low murmur beside her ear, reminding her of their plan. Kim Mido flinches, a bead of sweat tracing her temple as she whispers a quick apology. Her mind races, replaying his instructions. Her role is confined to the main party, before a secret gathering begins for an exclusive few. She must approach Mingwei. A memory surfaces of a small box snapping open, revealing a beautiful, gem-adorned ring. A lovely piece of jewelry with a dangerous purpose to wound her target. Back in the present, her expression hardens with resolve. She has to catch his attention before time runs out. Amidst the low hum of the party, Kim Mido stands with a clear objective: approach the target and complete the mission. But it's far from simple. The man is constantly engaged, not even glancing in her direction. How is she supposed to get close? Frustration builds as a blonde-haired man suddenly grips her arm. He sneers, telling her to look at him. Then his tone shifts to a sickeningly sweet encouragement. "Cheer up, Mido. You look really pretty right now." She forces herself to stay calm, observing her target once more as he dismisses another beautiful woman. She wonders what it will take to finally capture his interest. A daring plan clicks into place. Kim Mido turns to her companion, confirming the rumors about their target's weakness for women, especially those already taken. A glint of resolve hardens her expression. "Alex," she asks coolly, "do you want to try something eye-catching with me?" Before he can fully comprehend her words, she seizes the lapels of his jacket and yanks him down towards her. His face flushes with surprise. Across the glittering ballroom, Yeo Baekgyung watches the scene unfold. His hand instinctively moves to his own collar as her name escapes his lips, a soft, stunned whisper. A low murmur spreads through the party as Kim Mido embraces her companion. Her plan works perfectly. She can feel Yeo Baekgyung's eyes finally fixed upon her. She recalls the rumors. He only desires women who are already taken. Stealing her resolve, Mido decides to use this weakness against him, ensuring she captures his full attention. She pulls the man closer, their lips meeting in a calculated act. Suddenly, a calm voice cuts through the air. "Hello." Mido's eyes snap open in shock. Yeo Baekgyung now looms over her, his expression unreadable. Kim Mido freezes, her mind scrambling as the man she intended to ensnare now stands before her. With a devastatingly calm smile, Yeo Baekgyung introduces himself, his voice a low murmur. He claims her beauty compels him to be forward before asking for a dance. Her companion, flustered, nervously defers to his wife. All eyes are on her. Trapped by her own ruse, Mido reluctantly agrees. A flicker of triumph flashes in Baekgyung's eyes as he extends a hand, an unspoken demand. The dance floor awaits, and with it, a new, more dangerous game. As they hold each other amidst the crowd, Kim Mido cautiously asks if it's truly okay for him to be so forward. Yeo Baekgyung leans in, his voice a low, intimate whisper. He questions why she wouldn't feel at ease, revealing a chilling fact. Her ankle monitor is programmed to trigger if she strays too far from him. A cold sweat beads on Mido's skin as she stammers that wasn't what she meant. A smug, knowing smile plays on his lips as his grip tightens. To the world, he's just another suitor. Yeo Baekgyung's grip tightens, pulling Kim Mido flush against him. A small gasp escapes her lips as he leans in, his voice a low, chilling whisper by her ear. He reveals that he knows her plan is to catch another man's attention and cruelly offers his help. Mido's eyes narrow as she glances at her intended target, thinking her ploy is working. Her confidence shatters when Baekgyung casually adds that he's been watching her the entire time. He knows exactly who she's been talking to, and the cold realization dawns on her. He sees everything. Yeo Baekgyung leans closer, his voice a low murmur as he asks if pretending to be a couple made her develop feelings for the other man. Kim Mido's breath catches. His hand tightens possessively on her back, pulling her body flush against his until their movements can no longer be called a dance. He observes her with a chilling intensity, stating he's never seen her truly smile. His voice drops, demanding to know why she smiled at Alex. Stuttering, she denies it, but then sees her target standing right before them, a final, desperate gambit in her mind. A cool resolve settles over Kim Mido's features. She gives her target a deliberate glance, deciding now is the time to spring her trap. Yeo Baekgyung's eyes narrow, his gaze an intense, possessive shadow following her every move. She begins to step away, and the other man gently takes her hand, wishing her luck. For a fleeting moment, hope ignites. Her plan is working, but another hand intercepts hers. Yeo Baekgyung smoothly takes her hand, bringing her knuckles to his lips. His eyes burn into hers, a silent, chilling promise. "Be careful," he murmurs. Amidst the soft murmur of the crowded party, a blonde man leans toward the woman at his side. He remarks with a charming smile that he feels jealous seeing how popular his wife is. She offers a polite "really" in return, but her thoughts are a whirlwind of desperate hope. She silently prays that her target, the man she thinks of as a lecher, is buying their carefully constructed act. As he approaches, her heart begins to pound. Her partner smoothly thanks the man for the invitation, wishing his wife, Alice, a happy birthday. Alice stands frozen, a cold sweat breaking on her skin. The target is identified in a hushed whisper, Mr. James, a powerful CEO. Kim Mido's heart pounds, a cold bead of sweat betraying her anxiety as her partner greets their mark. An unsettling gaze drifts over, landing on her. His eyes sweep down, lingering on the elegant dress and the glittering jewels at her throat. A slow, triumphant smile graces Kim Mido's lips, a wave of pure relief washing through her. The bait has been taken. The trap is sprung. It worked. Her heels click with a steady rhythm against the polished floor as she moves with purpose down the empty hallway. Her expression is a mask of cool composure. From a nearby room, a man peeks around the corner, a satisfied smirk spreading across his face as he confirms their plan is working. The woman opens the door to a private room, her mind racing with the thought that he followed her, just as intended. She steps into the dimly lit space. The door clicks shut behind her, sealing them inside. A stout man in a suit stands in the doorway, his eyes lingering on her. "Were you waiting for me?" he asks, his voice thick with confidence. From the hall, another man's voice replies smoothly, "Perhaps?" The stout man steps closer, his shadow consuming the woman in the elegant purple dress. He leans in, his voice a low rumble as he remarks that she is even more beautiful up close. His hand comes up to lift her chin, his gaze invasive as he wonders aloud how he's only just now discovering her. His fingers trail down her collarbone, stopping as he notices the brilliant sapphire ring on her finger. "What's this for?" he asks. She simply replies that it is important. Elsewhere, Yeo Baekgyung watches, a chillingly calm smile on his lips. He holds a small, open box, revealing a different ring inside. He explains that it will decorate Mido's hand and lead their target to his final end. Kim Mido stands across from him, her eyes wide with a quiet dread. Yeo Baekgyung reveals the sapphire ring's sinister secret. Microscopic blades, invisible to the naked eye, are hidden within the gemstone's setting. With a chillingly calm smile, he explains his intention to coat them with a powerful toxin. A cold bead of sweat trickles down Kim Mido's face as she listens in horror. He details how the substance will cause the target's body to slowly fail from within over days, a decline that will be dismissed as a consequence of his known poor health. Snapping the box shut, he delivers his final command. Her mission is to simply graze their target with the ring. His fingers clamp around Kim Mido's jaw, his face twisting in a snarl as he hurls an insult at her. Ice floods her veins, but his words shift from anger to a leering command. He tells her not to move without his permission, that she must obey her master. His hands trail through her hair, and with a sickening lurch, she understands. He hasn't discovered the plan, he's just a predator. Playing her part, she apologizes for her excitement. He leans closer, his smile chilling as he says a rebellious girl must be taught a lesson. Kim Mido's stomach churns with disgust. She squeezes her eyes shut, forcing herself to endure this for her sister's sake. Just as the man leans closer, the door bursts open, flooding the dim room with light and shattering the moment. Startled, they both turn toward the entrance. Peeking from behind the door is Yeo Baekgyung, holding a large stuffed cat. "Sorry," he says with a placid smile. "Am I interrupting?" He enters, informing the host that his lovely Alice has been desperately looking for him. The man freezes, a nervous sweat beading on his forehead. The man's vile order dies in his throat as Yeo Baekgyung looms over him, a terrifying smile gracing his lips. His eyes flare with a crimson light, and their host stammers in shock, realizing he's in the presence of a Sigma. Effortlessly, Yeo Baekgyung places a hand on Kim Mido's shoulder and steers her away, his voice a silken threat as he dismisses the terrified man. But once they are clear, the warmth vanishes from his tone. "Did that man touch you?" he asks, his voice turning to ice. Mido is bewildered. Why does that matter? The mission's success, she insists, is the only important thing. The man stumbles down the empty hallway, rubbing at his neck where a small, red welt has appeared. Yeo Baekgyung's cold gaze fixes on Kim Mido, questioning the look on her face. He wonders why he feels so unhappy when the mission is clearly a success. With defiant resolve, Mido meets his eyes, insisting she did her best and succeeded. A flicker of understanding softens his expression. "Right?" he murmurs, remembering her precious younger sibling. Abruptly, he turns away. He declares he will keep his promise and tells her it's time to leave. Yeo Baekgyung's cold gaze pierces through Kim Mido. He asks about the look on her face, internally wrestling with a strange unhappiness despite their success. Mido stands firm, her voice steady as she reminds him that she did her best and accomplished the mission. His expression softens slightly as he recalls her motivation, a precious younger sibling. Without another glance, he turns away. He will keep his promise, he states coldly, but now it's time for them to leave. Mido watches his back, her resolve hardening. Kim Mido watches him go, her mind reeling with confusion. She wonders silently. The bustling city lights blur past as they travel in a sleek car, the silence between them thick with unspoken thoughts. Finally, Yeo Baekgyung turns his head slightly, his gaze fixed forward. He admits that, to be honest, he didn't think she would actually pull it off. Mido's eyes widen in surprise at the confession. He offers a soft, unexpected apology for underestimating her abilities and thanks her for leading the mission to its success. Kim Mido's voice is quiet as she asks why he chose her. Surely, there were others more capable, especially since he never trusted her in the first place. Yeo Baekgyung gently takes her hand, his voice low as he agrees with her. He confesses this was simply the result of his own greed. He slips a stunning jeweled ring from his own finger, but instead of offering it to her, he lifts her hand to his lips. He places a soft, reverent kiss on her knuckles. Mido flushes, turning away in shock as he gazes up, a knowing smile on his face. He softly praises her for her good work, his grip gentle on her hand. A few days later, that gentleness is a distant memory. In a dimly lit room, Yeo Baekgyung pins Kim Mido down, his presence pressing against hers with undeniable dominance. She struggles, her breaths coming in ragged gasps as she pleads for him to let her go. But a desperate, all-consuming craving drives him. He ignores her protests, burying his face in the delicate curve of her neck. A feverish intensity takes over, his eyes glowing as he finally quenches his overwhelming thirst for her essence. True to his word, Yeo Baekgyung allows Kim Mido to make the promised phone call. With him watching her every move, she nervously lifts the receiver. As the call connects, tears well in her eyes. "Hello?" she whispers, her voice trembling when she hears her sister's frantic questions pour through the line. Kim Mido struggles to maintain composure, forcing a calm tone as she apologizes for vanishing. She reassures her sister that she is okay, a painful lie delivered under the silent, intense gaze of her captor standing just behind her. With Yeo Baekgyung silent, imposing figure looming just behind her, Kim Mido struggles to maintain a steady voice. Her sister's worried sobs filter through the phone, and Mido crafts a careful lie about a new job with a confidentiality clause. "Don't worry," she forces out, assuring her that it isn't dangerous and that she's being treated well. The call becomes a series of painful promises and reassurances she isn't sure she can keep. "I'll call again," she vows, her heart aching. Finally, she whispers a soft, "Yeah, okay," her shoulders slumping as the conversation ends. Kim Mido's hand trembles, her grip tightening on the silent receiver. A desperate thought floods her mind. When will she ever get to hear her sister's voice again? Suddenly, a gentle hand covers hers. Yeo Baekgyung takes the phone and places it back on the cradle, his touch lingering. He pulls her close, his voice a low whisper. "Are you sad?" "Not at all," she murmurs, her eyes downcast. Her mind rages. Sad doesn't begin to cover it. He notes her sister's maturity, how calmly she accepted the lies. He smiles, but Mido flinches away from his touch. Yeo Baekgyung suggests she must be tired, his voice a soft command to go and rest. Kim Mido silently obeys, turning her back on him. As he watches her disappear, an unsettling hunger flashes in his eyes. A thrill runs through him, a predatory instinct taking over as he licks his lips. The scene shifts abruptly to a gym, where an associate reports that the Hong Kong job is finished. Baekgyung asks if the researchers were also handled. The man confirms they were taken care of with a chillingly simple, "Yeah." Yeo Baekgyung calmly asks about any remaining loose ends, a faint smile playing on his lips. His associate confirms they were all eliminated. Another man in a sharp suit and glasses smirks, praising Baekgyung for securing the golden goose and solidifying their position in the Raspberry Project. The man's satisfaction quickly curdles into fury, his fist clenching as he accuses Baekgyung of overstepping his contract and ignoring the family's greater good. Unfazed, Baekgyung simply tells him to prepare for a formal request he'll be making soon. The associate's voice curdles with anger, accusing Yeo Baekgyung of taking that woman to Hong Kong. He demands to know why he's dragging his feet when a compatible source was so hard to find. A faint, almost cruel smile plays on Baekgyung's lips. He compares her to a gift he wishes to unwrap slowly. The man's tone shifts, reminding Baekgyung that her rights were transferred to him. In a flash, Baekgyung lunges, grabbing him by the collar. A shadow falls over Baekgyung's face, his voice a low growl. "Don't take an interest in what's mine, Hyung." Yeo Baekgyung's lips curl into a condescending smirk as he tells his elder not to group him with such a deviant. The man's face darkens, reminding Baekgyung who delivered the woman in the first place. He demands that he stop wasting time and fulfill his duty as a product. With a sharp turn, he starts to leave. Bare-chested, a towel around his neck, Baekgyung offers a sliver of gratitude. His voice, however, is laced with a chilling warning, hoping for cooperation if his elder wants that sincerity to last. Yeo Baekgyung stands alone, hands in his pockets, pondering his own strange behavior. He's afraid of scaring Kim Mido. After so much time, he's finally found something interesting. And where would the fun be if she were terrified? At first, that was all it was. But now, a new desire takes hold. He wants her to smile at him. As the thought forms, an intoxicating scent washes over him, a powerful essence that makes his heart race. He spots her in the distance. "Mido," he calls out. She stops, turning back to face him. A disarming smile graces Yeo Baekgyung's lips as he asks Kim Mido to lunch. He brings up her recent trips to the shooting range, his tone light and curious. Her gaze turns icy. She explains that it's a better use of her time than simply eating the meals they force on her here. Unfazed, Baekgyung's smile widens, calling her words a complaint. He tells her to just focus on staying healthy. "Fine then," she concedes with bitter sarcasm. His playful demeanor vanishes. "Mido," he says, his voice suddenly earnest. "I'm right here." He grabs Kim Mido's chin, his intense gaze locking onto hers. She demands to know why he's acting this way. He's a Sigma, and she's his captive Epsilon. This kindness doesn't suit their forced relationship. Shoving his hand away, she tells him to stop his personal interest, but as she steps back, she loses her footing and tumbles to the ground. She looks at her scraped elbow, muttering that the skin is torn. Baekgyung rushes to her, asking if she's okay. When she looks up at him, her breath catches. His eyes glow with an unsettling red light, and that's where we'll leave them for now. If this one hit you right, you already know the move. Tap subscribe. The next obsession drops twice a week, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. I pulled 2 more recaps just for you. They're on your screen right now. Pick your poison. This was Manhwa Dragon. Stay obsessed. I'll see you in the next one.